that gives us our evolutionary asset. This central force, as I have shown you here, is first in the residual form, kept in the triangular form, and is called as Kundalini. The word Kundalini in the Sanskrit language means, Kunda means coil. It means coil. Kundalini. When it is a feminine of Kundala, Kundala means a coil, like the, if you can say, the curl or a coil. When the feminine gender is used, it is called as Kundalini. Now this is the residual force which has made the zygote, as you call it, or you can say the embryo, and the residual of it settles down there. It is much more than that. I am not going into details about it, how this force, which force it is. It is a subconscious state, you can say. That is all your subconscious, all your lives, even from amoeba to this state. Whatever you have been doing, whatever have been your search, whatever lives you have had, whatever genes you have passed through, like we can say, if you were, say, a lion, it is all recorded. Then also it records all that has been happening in this present life also. Through this area, in the subconscious area, it passes and is recorded here, and kept everything recorded. Whatever you are taking and experiencing and putting to your subconscious. That subconscious area is all being recorded in that micro, you can say, a micro tape. And all that is, though recorded, has also got the power to think, coordinate, to organize, and to use whenever it is required. I mean, we cannot think of such a record or a record player, or we can say a tape recorder, which works out all these things together. It is fantastic to believe that there could be such a power. But very, I mean, even if you see our eyes, they are fantastic things. I mean, we take them for granted. Absolutely take them for granted. We cannot make even one eye, with all our scientific knowledge and everything, we cannot create one living human eye. Let us accept it. So every one of us have got two nice eyes, which are such complicated things, and the way they react and work out. There must be some sort of a power behind it, some sort of an organization, some sort of a complete, correlated, you can say, a big institution, which is absolutely integrated and is related to something great that is managing these eyes. After all, when supposing I come to London suddenly from some Indian forest, here I come, I find, oh, there's a very nice train going, then I find a very nice tube station, and I find I'm moving from places to places, and there are all kinds of arrangements made for me. Then naturally I conclude that who is doing all this? After all, how is it that I reach here and I find all these things available for me? So there has to be somebody behind it. But now you may call it anything, you may call it nature, God, if that sort of shocks you, you can call him anything. But there is some power that is organizing all this. These are the understand powers about which we should know. Now which is the way we can know this is the point. Either by looking at the trees and looking at the, say, houses, or looking at the way we look at factories and things, by going out, meeting people. Can we find out? Do you think? I mean, it's a very simple housewife's question. Suppose you want to find out, say, from where to get some nice vegetables. You don't go to a newspaper to find it out. You ask another housewife about that, where do you get this nice vegetable? I would like to know, from where am I to get it? In the same way, if you have to find out what are these undercurrents, we have to approach people who have known something about it, who show results of it in their own lives, those who have talked about it. And when we go to them and try to find out, we find they also tally with our current number. They also talk the same thing as we are talking. And these are the undercurrents within us. Now, some of the people who have talked about these chakras and about these kundalini rising and all these things that are shown here, have been looking at it and seeing it. No doubt about it. You have heard about so many people like, you can say, what is the name of that lady who founded organization? Annie Besant. She has written a lot about it. I mean, for you English people, it would be a great thing to know that she has written. But she just saw it. You see, she just saw the thing. Like I see you, she saw these things inside her. That means she was not there. If you are there, you do not see it. She saw these things here. Now, for example, this is the chakra she sees. Right? Normally they just see this chakra. I see mostly they see this chakra or this chakra. Now, if they are seeing it, now you are seeing it, that means you are not inside it. But they have seen it, no doubt. They have seen it. But they are not there, and they have not given the method how to be inside. From outside you can see Caxton Hall, but you are not inside. This is a very important point to know. That to go inside must be another way. But from outside, if you see anything, say this chakra you see from outside, you may be going round and round and round it, and that's how you are seeing that chakra. And that's why these people did see, no doubt about it. They were not sort of telling you lies or giving you some sort of a false idea about it. But definitely what they were describing is not what we are seeing. We want to be in it. We want to be that. That's why some people say that why didn't Christ describe these chakras? I have heard people asking me such questions. And none of the Sahaja Yogis will also see these chakras at all to begin with. But they will just feel sometimes the Kundalini rising. They may see in other people the rising of the Kundalini through this. They can see also the pulsation here. They can feel it with stethoscope. When it opens, it becomes absolutely an abstract sort of a force which you cannot see, but you start feeling the collective consciousness. That means you become that. Now you don't see your eyes with which you see, but you have eyes, you know that. So the seeing of it has given us some idea that there is something beyond. They have helped us this way. We can say that all right, they have seen something, but they have gone by a wrong method, by which they could only see but could not enter it. There has to be some force here which has to give us our evolutionary jump. We have evolved from amoeba to this stage, no doubt, and there has to be something that has done this job. There is some force within us which has done this work. If we understand this much, that there is some purpose in evolution, because certain things were discarded also. For example, big animals like mammoth and all those have been discarded. Out of them only elephant remains. Then some new animals came up, some of them have been discarded. Then again some were accepted, some started going further and further. If there is no purpose of life in evolution, why should there be a growth of a man out of amoeba? This is the first question we should ask us, which none of the scientists have ever tried to ask because they cannot answer it by us. But should come to us as the first question. Why are we human beings here, sitting down? But this question doesn't come to us normally because we take it for granted. And that is the trick of the nature. That is the trick of the nature, what we call as Maya in Sanskrit language. That you accept the trick of the nature. Now every one of us knows that we are going to die, which is the greatest trick of the nature. Once Dhruva was asked by his disciple Shukra, he said, which is the greatest Maya of this world? He said, the greatest Maya of this world is that everyone knows he is going to die next moment. He may die next moment. Nothing can be said about his death, but he doesn't believe that he is going to die. It is the greatest illusion of this world. In the same way, we take it for granted. It is the nature's gift to us that we take it for granted. Otherwise, we would be all jumping on our heads all the time. worried about our deaths, doing this, oh, tomorrow we have to die, tomorrow we have to evolve, what are we to do? This settling within us of this, what you call the Shanti, the peace we have taken for granted, is also a power given to us by nature. And because of this, you see, we take for granted our being as it is, we use it and live for it. But in certain things we do not take it for granted, and there where we have gone wrong. This evolutionary force which has to rise from here has to go through this and open out this as the ultimate breakthrough for human beings, is unable to do that. Why? The reason is we have spoiled all these centers by our efforts. By self-destroying agencies we have put against us. Either we destroy others or we destroy ourselves. We cannot sit quiet. Both things, according to me, are just the same. Because if you are a part and parcel of a one whole being, then even a part that is you, if it is destroyed, is a part destroyed in the whole. If you destroy other parts, then of course it is the destruction. But we only see the destruction of others, but not of our own, the way we are destroying ourselves. So we either move this way, left side or right side, as I call it, to our superego and ego all the time, either destroying others or destroying ourselves. So this force of sustenance which has to rise and has to give us that breakthrough is obstructed by our efforts. Because we have no sense of judgment. I wouldn't say that nature has not given us that power. It has given us wisdom. It has also given us conscience. You see, so many people have now denied it by saying, no, shut up, we don't believe in it. What's wrong? What's wrong? You may try that, but you see, that is self-destroy. You have a conscience, no doubt. You do feel bad about things that you should not have done, which you did just because it was a fashion or because that was the effort needed. You see, this effort is born out of our ego. An egoistical man cannot sit quiet. If you tell him sit quiet, he'll get up again. It's a jack in the box. Just ask him to sit down, please, for a while. Just sit down. Just keep quiet. So he will just jump in. Oh, I must do something. I'm just wasting my time. And this kind of attitude that developed within us, in the West, we should say, now we are facing the Western people, so I should talk about the West. In the West has really led to lots of inner destructions and poisons that we have got within ourselves. Actually, we are not warmongers at all anymore. We do not trouble others much, but we torture ourselves. This is what has come to today's situation as it is, as I find the people over here. Though you are the people who do not support any wars or any cruelty outside, you are the people who are cruel to yourself. You are not kind to yourself at all. You don't love yourself. You have no respect for yourself. You have no values about yourself. And you do not understand how important is this temple, which you have not built. Has been built from the time you were an amoeba, today you are a human being. The whole thing has been built. Especially for this purpose, that the light has to come within you. You are to be enlightened. This has been laid down nicely within, among all of you people, it is there, existing there. So these centers that we have, all of them are, one center is down below there, is the red one as I shown here, is called as the Mooladhara Chakra. It means the root of the support, or you can say the support of the root, you can say. Support of the root, Mooladhara, support of the root. Which is the root? Root is this one. And it is the support of the root. And in scientific words, you cannot understand what is the root of the person or personality. You cannot say which is the root. What are your roots? I mean, you cannot say that I came from England and I came from West Indies. That's not the thing. What are your roots? From where have you come? And where have you to go? This is the support of that root, which is going to manifest your personality. And this support It's extremely simple to understand is innocence. Is the innocence. Innocence has been given to us by nature. We may lose it, but it is there. And this is the sign where it exists. Innocence is in the animal, it is in all the matter. No matter is innocent. It neither attacks you, nor it attacks itself. It is innocent. You can use it whichever way you like, but the matter is absolutely innocent. In the way we can understand that it is, we can say it is mute. It has no thinking about it. So it is innocent. You are the only people, human beings, have got the power either to be innocent or to be destroying that innocence within you. So this is the root. This is the root, and the root has got the support, that is innocence. So your roots have got the support, the feeding of the root is innocence. Or you can say the roots are embedded in the innocence itself. The whole creation was created after innocence was generated, not before. So innocence is such a big blessing. And that is the innocence. Now in scientific terminology, you cannot talk of innocence. Innocence is a part of human beings, you all know. In the children you find the innocence very clearly, how they express their innocence. Now the new theory, I was amazed when I came in this country to hear that there are people who believe that children are the most ego-oriented, extremely possessive, and they are very dominating creatures. I was shocked at this. This theory just doesn't tally with ours. You see, I said, now what these scientists have found out, God only knows. But by God's grace, now they have found out it was a wrong thing. What happened that they found a child, if you put before a child a ball, for example, hanging before him, so the child tries to grab the ball. That's what they deducted from the movements of the child's hand. But later on, when they watched the child later on, see, they found that it is not so, because you can see in life how children are generous. So they couldn't understand why this in the beginning children behave in this manner. Then they found out that if you have a slow motion picture, absolutely a slow motion picture, then you find that the small children are moving their hands just like birds, because they have got a flying capacity and they are trying to try that flying trick that they do. And they just do flying. It's not the grabbing, but it's the flying. Their hands move like this, just like flying. With the impulse that they see something, they start flying. Just imagine what a big mistake it was to treat your children on these bases, that they are very ego-oriented, that they are very possessive. Now, such mistakes are committed. And something terrible also people have done. One of them has been done to this center also. Because when you start finding out things, through effort, you can just break your nose, can just clip off your ears, anything can happen because you are moving into dark. So first we must ask for enlightenment. We must ask for the light to see what are we doing. This is the first thing that we have to ask for. If there is no light, whatever you are doing or not doing, you do not know what you are doing. This is a jarring example. Imagine all the children of the world were condemned by this great theory that came out of somebody's brains, that they are trying to grab everything. They have no sense of possession, they have no sense of, they do not understand your economic things, and they do not understand how much an antique costs and how much the dust costs. How can they do all these things? But even such a horrible theory was accepted, and you know the result of it, that the way we have been treating our children has been terrible. But now when one theory has been accepted by which people have suffered, I don't know how much time it will take for another theory to come up to be kind to these children of ours. In the same way, the theories about this center have been very, very, absolutely so damaging that you see, a person like me, I get a real fear to think about it. This center is a very important center because it is the support of your root. It is the support of your root. And on this center, people have written books after books by saying that this is the center which controls the sex. And they got this wonderful idea that this center, because it is there and it is at the support, and because it controls the sex, and because they have seen it there, also they have seen the deity there sits, which has got a trunk like an elephant. So they have called it that the Kundalini itself, the residual force itself, sits there. Now this is one of the greatest and the gravest mistakes that these Tantrikas have done to all the seekers of truth. Sex is important, is sacred, something great human beings must have if they have to have children, if they have to have development of their being. There's nothing wrong in sex. And sex has to be properly appreciated and is to be respected in its proper way, and it's not to be vulgar. But it has to be innocent sex. It should be spontaneous and not deliberate by thinking about it, having pornography. The more these people do pornography and all that, the more they will become impotent. Because it is potent only under circumstances where it is allowed to be spontaneous. It's a very great danger all of you are facing when you do so much about it. Allow it to work out more spontaneously in the sacred way. It's the most beautiful thing to be enjoyed by all of you. God has given you that. But the way we have ruined it now, you have no idea how much we have lost that. How much the whole thing is just the opposite of it. I mean, it's joy killing. It will never give you joy but frustration. So first of all, I must tell you that there is nothing wrong in sex. But when you start thinking that sex can give you realization, or that the Kundalini is sitting at the sex point, that you have to do sex for that, that is the end of everything. That is hell, I tell you. We have had some disciples here. You have seen that some people came to us and they told they went to some Lama who did sex with the guy. Imagine Buddha's disciples doing like this. I mean, I cannot imagine things like that. Even Christians, how can they believe a thing like that? That you can achieve sex, you can achieve realization through sex. Sex energy, I don't know what you call that, as we say, after another blind person was Mr. Freud. Absolutely blind. He didn't know much about the whole being. He knew just a part of it. He knew a very little part of it. He did not know much about it. He had ideas about these things from his own life, from his own character, the way he was biased about things, and the foremost thing, he played on your weaknesses. You see, somebody plays on our weaknesses, tries to be nice to us. We must understand he is our greatest enemy. If he plays on our strength, he is our friend. And that's how he did it, and that's how he completely brainwashed people over here to say that sex activity should be, there should be no inhibition, there should be liberation, this is this. What is this liberation? Is enslavement of sex morning till evening? Is it liberation by any chance? You are liberated when you can master it. But when you are enslaved of it, you cannot even control your eye for 2 minutes. What sort of a liberation it is? And that's why we have to understand fully well that sex has to be respected, has to be sacred, and is right. Even today when we call it a liberated society. Still, whatever you may try, you see, you cannot create a complete vacuum, I can see. Even now, I do not find people doing sex on the streets. Still, I have seen, you see, many old people having young girls around and all that, but on the street I don't see. Still, they feel shy. It's just that shyness in that. Still, there is. Whatever you may try with your liberties or things like that, still a man feels hurt if his sister is raped. Still, there are so many things if you see that you don't like the way things are. There is absolutely a gift to all of us Even today, when you are supposed to be so liberated, I have yet to come across a man and a woman, really, if you talk to them personally, who are not jealous. Why should you be jealous? You are not jealous if 10 people are eating food together. Why are you jealous? If one woman tries to spoil another family, or if one man spoils another woman's family life, why should there be jealousy? All these have been built within us, and this is a very important point which we neglect. Because of this, we have lost all the joy of life. All the joy of life is lost completely because sex is for giving you joy and not frustration. In this chakra, there is a deity who came as Christ on this earth. He is an embodiment of innocence. And he is the deity which was created, first of all, as Sri Ganesha, as we call him, who has a trunk of an elephant. Now there's a story behind it also why this has been given, but a simple thing is that an animal, any animal, does not have these things closed as here, like the ego and super ego, like the fontanelle bone is not closed in the animals. Means they remain innocent. Once this is closed here, then the innocence is lost in the sense that you have given I-ness. You become Mr. such and such, you become Mrs. such and you become a different personality. This is not among animals at all. Only at the human state you are given the I-ness. Has a reason for that also. This I-ness is given. And that is why the child, Ganesha, has no ego. He is directly connected with the divine, and whatever he works out is only the work of the divine. He is not at all putting his ego or superego in between. It's a hollow personality. It's a hollow, we can say a very hollow entity, or you can say deity, which is being used to permeate innocence on this earth, and that was Christ. I wonder how many of us know really the great nature of Christ. Morning till evening is, oh Christ. This one will say, oh Christ. Doing all sorts of nonsensical things which should not be done in the presence of Christ, we will do, and we think we are Christians. To understand his nature, you have to master this set. I shall never say that you give up married life. Not at all. You all should get married, must have families, must live a very normal family life. Absolutely. That's not the point. But there should be sacredness about this, because the greatest deity is the greatest of all, because it's the principle of life. It's the Tattvamasi, it's called the Tattva. It's the principle of life is innocence. And that is sitting down there, and you see children have no sense of sex at all. Now this Mr. Great, Freud, I don't know from where he deducted certain things, saying that the children have got this and all that. It's all nonsense. He just knows one side is this side. That too up to I don't know how much point he was. He was not meditative at all. You cannot know these things by judging some pathological case. He himself was a pathological case. I would say he was a psychopath himself. And the people who came to him were all psychopaths. And pathological cases cannot determine for the general people. They cannot say normal people. He never treated normal people. I mean, normal would not go near him. I mean, people are shocked, when they heard such things. In India, always they reject it. This is mad. Nobody believes in all this. If you go and tell them, they say, oh, you tell somebody else. We know all that. Such mad people are born again and again on this earth. But for us, you see, he proved us through the psychological cases. Now supposing, take a case of a doctor. Now he is treating ulcer, or say he is treating some sort of, he is treating cancer. So he takes a cancer patient and says, this is cancer and this has happened and this has happened. And then he says, everybody has cancer. Will you accept it? These are all psychological cases which he has dealt with, and naturally they are psychological because they are abnormal, so that is not normal. It's a simple deduction. But I don't know how we missed that one. Never take them seriously. Have they tried any normal people? Natural people? And that's why, you see, when these people tried. I wouldn't say that he did it for money or anything. He really religiously believed in what he did. But it was such a partial truth. And partial truth can be very injurious and can be very dangerous. But the way we accepted him has created this problem for us. On the left-hand side, as I call it, that we do not know where we stand as far as the sex is concerned. One should have a clear-cut idea as to how to lead a sex life. But you don't have to discuss about it and sit down and listen. Allow the spontaneity to work it out. This is what it is, because the deity there is innocent. Children don't understand sex. They don't understand private part or anything. They do not. If you are new, they will just say you have this and you have that, and they talk so sweetly about it. They do not understand it is privacy. Only when you grow this, again, the development of this fontanelle bone being calcified, that is the only time when we start thinking about it and the shyness starts. I think that might be the point where we can say even Adam got their freedom. Even Adam got their freedom by becoming themselves by this fontanelle bone being absolutely calcified. At this juncture, when you become absolutely independent, it is you are made because you have to evolve slightly more than what you are. You have to find out some of the things which you should know and didn't by your wisdom. You have to learn how to use your wisdom because you are the people who are the flowers, who are the blossoms of this creation. The whole creation, imagine you are the people. And if you are not even independent to decide for yourself, if you are still children and not mature enough to decide, then what's the use of getting realization for you? You have to understand this dynamic force, you have to use it, you have to maneuver it, you have to give realization to people, and you have to change the whole world. All this has to be done through your agency, and such people, if they are still like babies and they don't understand what to do about things, what is that? That's why at this stage, at the human stage, God has, I shouldn't say God, but nature has closed this. It closes down. Why? Why do we ask ourselves, why does it close down here? Animals don't close it. Why do we have this calcified force here? Why human beings do it? How they do it? We never think about it. So you are special. You are made like that. You have special ideas. You understand things much more. You are definitely evolved in the sense you have greater sense of awareness. You understand what is beauty. You understand what is filth to begin with. Animals do not, whether take a horse or a lion. For them, filth is nothing. They do not know what is filth. You pass them through any dirty place, for them it has no meaning. You take them to any filthy area, they will sit down there nicely and enjoy themselves. They are not going to bother about whether there are flowers or not, whether there are gardens or not. They are not bothered. So the first thing is we find that they have no sense of fragrance much. This is also the same centerpiece, the sense of fragrance. Now the fragrance has gone to such a limit. You see, we have nice perfumes. We use lots of perfumes because we cannot stand filthy odor and things like that. But animals, do they need any perfume? They can live. They are quite happy about it. They are not bothered as to whether they are in an atmosphere where there is perfume or not. But they have a sense of smell, no doubt. Sense of smell they have, but not the sense of fragrance that we have. We are especially blessed to have a sense of fragrance because later on you will know, after realization, that sense of fragrance helps you to recognize the realized souls. And not only realized souls, but also the person who we call as incarnation. I wish people had that sense when Christ was born, they would never have allowed this crucifixion. Then you understand who has the fragrance and who does not. So the sense of fragrance is developed in this center. We have another sense in this center. Human beings have a special sense of aesthetics. Animals don't have any aesthetics. Whether you put red, black, yellow, anything makes no difference to them. They know the color. They have a color sense, all right. They have color sense. Supposing you show them red light first and give them a food to eat, and then give them blue light and don't give any food. Then as soon as you put the red light, their saliva glands will start secreting. Means they have a sense of color. But they have no sense of aesthetics. They cannot understand what is the architecture of this place, how it is placed, is it proportionate or not disproportionate. Wherever they are, if you give them food, they will eat. But for us, the food must be laid down in a way that it should be appealing to our aesthetics. Otherwise, we don't feel like eating. If it's looking horrid, then we just don't want to eat. We are very sensitive people. If you see that, we are extremely sensitive instruments. To understand aesthetics, see, we take it for granted. We just take it for granted that we have aesthetics. And the more the society is improving, the aesthetics are improving, people are very aesthetically sensitive in the West, extremely aesthetically equipped. They understand what are aesthetics. This center of creativity within us gives us the subtle point of aesthetics within human beings, which is higher than the animal. But then, what is the higher sense of this? As I have told you about the fragrance now. Aesthetics are all right. We see the color of this and that and that. So we have no spiritual aesthetics. We do not understand spiritual aesthetics. That is only possible after realization that you immediately understand what is spiritual aesthetics. Because you start getting vibration. Aesthetically, whatever is absolutely correct will only give vibrations. There is a coefficient which works out, a formula, which works out these vibrations. A thing may look horrid to us. If you say, now this is an art, they say it has got an Academy Award, I don't know how it has got it, you just can't look at it, it's terrible. But it has got an academic award, I don't know how people have given it. What have they judged it for? Now, after realization you see, then you will be able to decide exactly whether it is aesthetically correct or not. If it is correct, it will give vibration. Like we'll say Mozart now. To you, Mozart or anybody else, just the same. To me, Mozart is free. Because as soon as you play his music, vibration starts. We have artists like that. We have many artists whom you may think that very good, he is great, and this and that. But an artist who is a realized soul, you can immediately understand that he is the best. That will give you greatest pleasure. The joy-giving quality of a particular artist would be greater for a spiritually awakened person than for another ordinary type. Because he can feel the joy coming into him. He does not have to talk. You are in thoughtless awareness. You are just watching the thing and the joy is pouring into you. And you feel so happy with the whole thing. You just have to start watching. So there are some great artists who might have been neglected and have been rejected by the society at least. Because these days you see an artist must show a nude woman. That's important. If it is not nude, it is not art. Everything is ending up in the bathroom. So, not necessary. A nude picture may give vibrations, may not give vibrations. The person who has made it is very important. If the person who has made it is a realized soul, he cannot make anything that is not aesthetically correct. He cannot. Because you see, he goes on balancing till he feels happy. When he feels happy, means he gets vibrations and he feels happy about it. So you get the real thing. For example, some of the paintings of Christ, I mean, they are absolutely hideous. I cannot bear them. The lanky, panky Christ absolutely looking so miserable. I think it's the projection of the artist himself to show him miserable. Now we can understand it even with rationality. How can a person like Christ be that miserable? The one who has come to remove the miseries of the whole world, looking that miserable and lanky, panky fellow that everybody should have pity on him? We must have reverence. We should see his body and face. We should depend on him. He is the support of the whole world. That's how he has been described. And how can we have such a dainty darling there, weeping and crying and melancholy fellow? See, this is the idea we have got about art, which changes completely later. The joy, the bubbling joy we can see in things and in paintings and in the faces also. Then our aesthetics change, absolutely change, and we start enjoying it in the real sense. Not that somebody has given you an award, so you have to think, yes, so you see here they have given an award, so there must be something about it. So you must sit down and work it out. No, it is not to be worked out. It's a spontaneous thing. As soon as you see the joy, it goes away, and you see the thing, and you say, oh, that's it. Just enjoy. And you do not talk about it, think about it, but the joy itself, which was in the heart of the artist, is reflected in your own being, and you start the whole thing rippling, completely rippling with joy. And that is the spontaneous thing that should happen to all of us, and not this working it out, thinking it, writing criticisms on it. What is the criticism? As soon as you see it, you know it is that. A child can make it out better than we, because we are so complicated. Even joy, you want to think about it. I mean, how can, to me, a person, I'm different type, you see, I cannot understand how can you sit down and describe joy. I've seen people describing even a painting. How can you describe? You just look at it and you know, oh, it is joy. But you have to be that, feel it. When this center is enlightened, then you get the sense of aesthetics which are spiritual. In India now there are many temples, as you must have heard. There are temples where they say there are living deities. It's a fact. Now in the Bible, if you read, what is not allowed is that you are not going to recreate anything that is created in the earth, on the earth or in the heaven. Means those which are created by Mother Earth as living deities, you should not recreate them. Because when you start recreating, you being non-realized, you will be putting your ideas into it, you will be making money out of it, you will be selling them in the market, and that's how you spoil the whole complete vibration. And it is very, very difficult to get even a sensible deity anywhere, whether in India or anywhere. I have seen many temples, many churches, and what I find, they are all good for nothing use. But there are some very good ones also. For example, I went to Paris and this Notre Dame, you see, there the statue of the Mother is absolutely correct. Every flower. Absolutely. The one who has made it has really done something. The other day I found a very nice marble statue made. I don't know when it was made, is it Victorian, whatever it is. And I just picked it up from the one junk shop, and it's beautiful. It has got vibrations. If you are realized, you can see for this. This sense is developed in enlightenment. I'm answering your question throughout, if you see it. You see, you had asked me what is enlightenment. See? Now, so this is the first enlightenment, that you know the fragrance of a realized. Is the first one. The second sentence gives you the idea of spiritual essence. Who is spiritually awakened? You'll find now many people who give realization. How somebody nice comes in, everybody will call, come, see his vibration. And they are like children sitting and taking all the vibrations and feeling it so nice. Oh, come, see. Maybe the person is a poor. Maybe the person is from a very low caste or maybe low society or whatever it is. But see the vibrations, oh beautiful. We had somebody making, in our building, somebody was repairing our roof, you see, and we had to lift up something. So some of the Sahajogis came down to help me there, and they said, we'll call some gentlemen. So the one who came to us, you see, they all were enamored. They said, look at this one, it has come. He didn't understand why they were so much appreciating him. He's an ordinary laborer. But see, great. And they called him again and again, and I also said, what can I do for you and all that. So he couldn't understand why was he so important to us. But he was emitting vibration. So this is the thing, is that by through this you know how the aesthetics are correct vibration-wise. Secondly, by developing this, by enlightenment of this, you also create things which are correct spiritually, absolutely correct. Those who will make anything, even a child is a realized thing, it will make something like a frog, say, out of this plasticine you give. You will start that plasticine, you will start giving vibration. It's most surprising. I have seen some children working with some clay, see, some of these realized souls. And they make some funny shapes, but immediately the vibrations start coming. Because they would not tolerate anything that doesn't give the vibration, so they remove a part, they add up a part, and shape it in such a way that it is aesthetically correct. Spiritual. So that is the second thing is which gives us this enlightenment. I don't know if I can cover seven of them, but this is what it is. Now this is a very important center in the navel, as we call it, the Nabi chakra. This one is called as Swadhisthana, and this is a Nabi chakra. In the center, which manifests our solar plexus. This manifests our